watch yourself, this ain't the energy you're used to. Try to run me over, I'll run right through you. You're dealing with a beast, a real life monster. I'm a different breed, yo, I am the alpha.
Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video here on RapperPlaysGames. And yes, I am a rapper. And yes, I do play games. Anyways, I just got a notification in the Phasmophobia Discord that there's another development preview. And I was like, what kind of stuff do they have to say? However, I only skimmed through it real quick because I'm like, you know what? I've never made a video on one of these. So let me make a video on this. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive in to find out what kind of changes and new things are coming to Phasmophobia here soon. Alrighty, here we are. We are in the Phasmophobia Steam thingamajiggy mabobber, and we're going to read on what is changing in the game and what is coming to the game. So let's check it out. Phasmophobia news, adjusting the Ascension, making sure everything feels just right. So reading this right off the bat makes me feel like they're just, making some adjustments to the game to help make it, feel more natural, feel more comfy, cozy for those that are looking to have a smooth playing experience when playing this game. Let's read further. Welcome back. We've got some news for you. Any information and images are work in progress and may change drastically before releasing. Since the Ascension update, we've had plenty of feedback on how the game currently feels for players. We wanted to share our thoughts on how we're planning to adjust the game to make sure progression and other areas are the best they can be for all types of players. That's huge, especially, when they say progression. There's been a lot of people that are either happy with the progression system or they're very unhappy about the progression system. A lot of people I play with, some of them are like very iffy on it. Like some of them like it, some of them are despising it because it takes so long to level up and it takes so much money to unlock certain tiers of equipment. And, it can be very frustrating at times when you're just trying to progress in the game. All right, the first thing we are talking about here is progression. Leveling rates are currently too slow. We originally made the leveling rate slightly slower so that we could increase the pace if need be. So we'll be doing exactly that. Less required XP per level across the board. This is huge. I feel like once you're out of like the level 20s range, it starts to get a lot more painful to level up to the next level because it takes so much XP to get to the next level. Unless you do the weekly challenge, complete it, and you get 5,000 XP, which can either help level you up one level, or it can get you that much closer to the next level. So that's huge when it comes to leveling. That's really good to know that it's going to take less required XP per level to get to the next level, which is actually really dope to hear about. Equipment tier unlocks are too linear and too slow. Alongside the progression rate changes above, we're going to change tier unlocks so that multiple are unlocked at once instead of only one. This means you'll have more choice on which equipment you'll want to upgrade first and which you want to save for later. We'll also be increasing the cost of some upgrades, as at the moment players can unlock almost everything straight away, when some upgrades should be something you save up for. That's actually really cool, mainly because of the fact that, it costs so much to upgrade to a certain tier, and now that you'll be leveling up progressively a little bit more faster, you're going to be getting a lot more money all at the same time. So I'm actually okay with them increasing the price, especially if they're going to make it to where you can unlock multiple at once. I'm fine with them increasing the price if you're going to be unlocking multiple at once. It kind of logically that makes sense to me. All right, let's move on to prestiges. Prestiges are a completely optional part of progression. However, we understand that there aren't many incentives right now to encourage players to prestige. With new player models, we will be adding unique prestige-related unlocks for players to purchase with in-game money, such as accessories for your player model or a cool new jacket. This right here is something that I've been talking about on stream. I was talking about, you know, with prestiging being a thing, I feel like when you prestige, it's going to unlock certain items or clothing or this, that, and the third for player models when they make your characters customizable for the game. This kind of confirms that theory right there. Now we know that it's going to definitely be beneficial to prestige, and now that they're making leveling up a lot more easier, prestiging is going to seem more worth it in the end. Coming soon for each prestige, players will be able to choose one of the following: a sum of extra starting money to kickstart their equipment loadouts or to save for their first few upgrades. I like this. I like that, because when you start over, you start with nothing. So imagine if you're able to start with a starting amount of extra money, so that way you can kickstart your equipment loadouts, or a small XP boost for that prestige only, allowing players to level up slightly faster but have to manage their money better. Ooh, this is also really awesome. Ooh, I don't know which one I would go with. Ooh, you know what? For me personally, I would take the small XP boost so that way I can level up more, because I'm already good at not really using my money in the game, only if I really, really need to. I would probably just go ahead and take that small XP boost, but that's just me. Let me know in the comments what you would do with that. Would you take the extra starting money to unlock more equipment and enhance your loadout? Or would you take the small XP boost to level up faster? Evidence equipment dots. Tier 1 is slightly too hard to use, so we'll be making it brighter and increasing the range of the light it emits. I've never personally had a problem with the tier 1 dots, but I can understand why other people would. I just find unique areas to place it and point it to where the ghost may be. And, you know, I've never really had an issue with the tier 1 dots, but I can understand why and how others have been having an issue with the tier 1 dots. So this is going to be a cool change. A cool change to the tier 1 dots. EMF reader. Tier 1's needle often gets too close or even goes past the 5 mark during events and hunts. So we'll be clamping that pesky needle a little harder to make sure people aren't mistaking it for evidence. I've never ran into this issue personally, mainly because I'm not a huge EMF user, at least with tier 1. You know, I've never really used the tier 1 enough to run into a problem with it. I've used the tier 1 to at least find out where the ghost room is, but I mean, shoot, it's a good change nonetheless. Tier 3 will receive a new sound for an EMF 5 reading, making it easier for evidence without having to pick it up. This I like, because when you get a tier 4 when you get a level 4 reading on a tier 3 EMF, it almost sounds like you're getting a tier 5, because like in one of the recent games I played, it was a tier 4 and I was looking at it, and one of my friends I was playing with goes, ooh, that sounds like that sounds like a level 5. I'm like, no, it's a level 4. So it's cool that they're going to be adding in a new sound for an EMF 5 reading for the tier 3 EMF. Additionally, we'll be changing where the tier 3 sensor reads from for PC players. This will make the directional indicator more accurate and feel more intuitive to read. This I like, because in the past when I have used the tier 3 EMF and I'm looking for wherever the interaction is, that I'll go to where the arrow is pointing, but then it'll start pointing somewhere else, or it will still be pointing in that direction when I'm walking into a wall. So I like this change. This is actually a really good change. The thermometer. Tier 1 never had its randomness to the readings, making it much more accurate than the other tiers. We'll be implementing a slight fluctuation on readings to reduce its effectiveness. I mean, again, tier 1 thermometer has never done me wrong. And I've never really, it does have a little bit of randomness to it, but I've never really had a major issue with the tier 1. Tier 2 and tier 3 will be adjusted so that after the initial hold to scan, continuing to hold the use button will keep refreshing the temperature reading every second or so. So that's actually cool. because I hate having to click, then click off, click, then click off. It's cool that they're adding that change so that way you can just hold it, you get a reading, keep holding it, you get another reading. Like that sounds like a good change to me. Tier 3 will have its randomness reduced further to make it even better than Tier 2. I mean, Tier 3 is already still better than Tier 2, no matter how people feel about the randomness of the Tier 3 thermometer. I still think the Tier 3 thermometer is fantastic, but I digress. Ultraviolet will be flipping Tier 1 and Tier 2 around so that players start with the flashlight and unlock the glow stick second. This should feel more like a useful progression than it currently is. Honestly, the glow stick is fine at Tier 1. I don't have an issue with the glow stick being at Tier 1. Having it go to Tier 2 kind of feels like a downgrade to me. I mean, that's just my opinion. You can tell me how you feel in the comments, but honestly, I feel like the glow stick itself should be Tier 1. But I digress. All right. Optional equipment. Firelights and igniters will be increasing the duration and light range for all tiers, giving players new ways to walk around in dark areas. I mean, this is cool, but again, me personally, as someone who's played this game since it started, I've never used firelights or igniters to find my way. I've always either used, as of recent with the Ascension update, I've used the Tier 3 headset, or I just use a flashlight. Again, I digress. Headgear will be adding an additional key binding for toggling on and off your headgear slot, as many players have expressed that the current method isn't ideal. I'm not sure what they mean by that, because it's never really been an issue for me personally, but as for people that play this game day in, day out, I can understand. All 3 tiers of headgear will have a new sound play when being interfered with by the ghost to let players know that they should turn it off during hunts. I like that because currently none of the headgear does jack shit when a hunt is going on, like, at all. So I like that. Tier 3's night vision doesn't currently have any paranormal interference, so we'll be adding some of that to reduce its effectiveness during hunts and keep it on par with other equipment. I like this because, you know, with no interference at all, it just encourages you to keep using the Tier 3 night vision. And now that with the whole eye adaptation setting that's in the game now, you can pretty much just see in the dark anyway, so you'll be able to see where you're going regardless, whether if it's being interfered with or not. Motion sensor. Tier 3's truck map indicator will be changed to be more accurate and show what it's detecting clearer. Again, I've never ran into a problem with the Tier 3 motion sensor. I've never had a problem with it picking up what I need, because honestly, all I need to hear is that boop, and that's all I need. And then as long as I see that check mark under detect a presence with the motion sensor, I've done my job. Parabolic microphone. To aid hearing impaired users, we'll be making the red LED light on the side of the Tier 1 paramic flash when it picks up sounds. I like that. That's actually really dope. That's really dope that they're adding that for anyone impaired of hearing. That's actually really sick, and that will be super helpful to any hearing impaired users. 100%. I love that. Photo camera. Tier 2 will receive a slight buff to photo taking speed. Again, never had a problem with it. I digress. We'll be fixing for the final time the oversight of taking the ghost photo with a full book. Pesky haunted cameras. I'm not sure what that one means. If you know exactly what that means, go ahead and let me know in the comments. There are still some bugs with photos, but with the major photo overhaul coming soon, a lot of that will be fixed as a byproduct. However, we're still looking at increasing the consistency of photo taking. More benefits of upgrading the camera tiers will come with the new system, including the removal of failed photos. What I want to know, and I love the fact that they're adding the option for us to remove failed photos, but what I want to know, is it going to hinder your photo bonus? That's what I want to know. Sanity medication will be speeding up the sanity restoration effect for tier 2 to make the upgrade more worthwhile. I like that because I also do feel like the tier 2 sanity meds don't really recover you as well as they should. Sound sensor. We'd like to add a mute button to each sensor in the truck so you can concentrate on watching dots on the monitor in safety and silence. Let's read that again. We'd like to add a mute button to each sensor in the truck so you can concentrate on watching dots on the monitor in safety and silence. That's dope. I like that. I like that a lot. Cursed possessions. Monkey paw. With the most recent change to the paw affecting the sea ghost wish, we're going to make the darkness effect start when the hunt starts, so you can actually see the ghost during the event. That's dope. I like that, but I never use the monkey paw that much. What they really need to do is work on the Ouija board. They really need to work on the Ouija board, because anytime that I try to use the Ouija board, whether if I'm this far away from my mic or if I'm this far away from my mic, it will not pick it up. And I know there's different types of tricks that you could do, but it should be at the point now where you don't have to try any tricks to get it to work. It should just work. And in a perfect world, I know it will work. But we do not live in a perfect world, and I know there's bugs and stuff that still need to be fixed. But please, Phasmo devs, if you're by some stretch of the imagination watching this, please work on fixing the Ouija board. Some parts of training aren't accurate to gameplay or are frustrating, so we'll be making the following adjustments. We'll replace the dot section with something more accurate to how ghosts act in-game. I like that. Lower the overall temperature in the warehouse to make the freezing temp section less frustrating, as well as add cold breath to relevant areas. I like it. The EMF section should require EMF 5 to progress instead of any EMF. I agree with this. That's actually amazing. I love that. The ghost orb section sometimes completes without the player knowing why, so we'll be increasing the time that you need to aim the camera at the orb before the door unlocks. I like that a lot. Cool. I mean, I feel like a lot of these changes are really going to enhance the player experience of this game, and I feel like, you know, the overall feel of the game is gonna feel so much better once this update in particular is implemented. But tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you think this is going to help the game or if it's going to hinder the game. I feel like it's definitely going to help the game. As somebody that's played this since the start, I love where the game's at, but know that it can get better. And what they're doing is incredible, and I love the fact that they are taking the time to adjust the proper areas that really need the most help. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, and if you guys want more stuff like this, please feel free to leave a like and leave a comment down below and tell me what you guys thought. Anyways, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Much love and peace.